From Dunlap Community High School, Clutch Sports Media is on the air for Middle Illini Conference girls basketball. Tonight, the Dunlap Eagles host the Morton Potters in a Middle Illini Conference showdown. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Teddy Ball, I'm Gavin Russell, and you probably hear the pep band right behind us. Teddy, they're loud, they're good though. Really gets the atmosphere going, but I mean, we got a great one in front of us tonight. It should be some great basketball.
Yeah, Gavin, when you got a great atmosphere, great teams, you're going to have a great game, and that's what we're looking for here tonight.
It's going to be a great one indeed. Regionals approaching fast. Playoffs are just around the corner. Both teams looking to make a deep run. We'll get into much more on the history of both of these teams in the playoffs. Morton dynasty in the area. As you look at some young fans dancing right there, everybody's excited and ready to go for some basketball, but Dunlap definitely having a big resurgence. 20-5, the Dunlap Eagles. 18-9, the Morton Potters. Both teams have had some great wins. As of recently, Morton riding a 7-game win streak into tonight, so it should be a good one indeed. Got a full crew out here for you on Clutch Sports Media. Again, Teddy Ball and Gavin Russell here with you. National Anthem will be coming up here in just a few moments. Teddy, though, a couple more thoughts here. You look at both teams, not a lot of senior experience, but it is senior night here in Dunlap.
Yeah, Gavin, just 5 seniors combined for the two teams. And as you mentioned before, 20-5 Dunlap, 18-9 Morton. We'll go get to the
National Anthem
where I'm looking for the flag.
We will be right back. A choir rendition of the Star Spangled Banner performed there by, assuming, the Dunlap High School a cappella group or chorus group. And now we've got time for basketball in Dunlap. Eagles and Potters ready to go at it tonight. Both teams with just a couple games left in the season, 2 for Dunlap and 1 left for Morton. We'll get into those schedules here in a little bit, but we got starting lineups for you right now, starting out with the visiting Morton Potters. They'll start out with junior Gracie Junis. Next to her is senior guard number 12, Tatum Lamprecht. Addie Engel, another junior, wearing number 14. Isabella Hutchison, another junior, number 20. And rounding things out, number 25, sophomore Ellie Van Meenen. Some quick thoughts, Teddy. 1 senior in that starting lineup, so not a ton of experience, but boy, the young Potters group has really been making some noise.
They have been 18-9 in the season, 3rd in the Mid-Illini to this point. And like I was talking about before, Dunlap 2nd in the Mid-Illini, Morton 3rd, so should be a very competitive game.
It will be, and the lights go out. Band revs up for the Dunlap starting lineup. They'll get their starting lineup here in just a moment. Not a very senior-led team. 2 seniors on senior night for the Dunlap Eagles. Those 2 seniors being Sophia Rimmel, headed to play at Morton College next season, and forward Peyton Haley, alone 2 seniors. basketball. You can feel the energy coming through your sound system right now, no matter what you're listening on, a phone, a tablet, a computer, a TV. You can just feel the excitement in this gym. The pep band going full blast. Starting lineup for the Dunlap Eagles. Julia Solberger, Sophia Rimmel, Caroline Holmes, Peyton Haley. And rounding things out is Justice Cruz. Dunlap starts with the ball here. Working around to the corner, back to Rimmel. It was tipped by Hutchinson. Potter's starting a zone, tipped away, nearly stolen again. Gets to Cruz on the inside, throws it up, no good. And Teddy, it looks like Morton starting out with a zone package there on defense. Maybe something that Dunlap didn't expect to see.
Maybe not. I mean, honestly, for Morton, you got to keep doing what you've been doing the last 7 games. 7-game win streak for them. Brought them into a good spot for this game to go against the number 2 ranked team in the Middle Illini.
Three-pointer off the mark. Offensive board, no good. Second chance opportunity was Engel. She gets a third chance and hits it home. 2-0 we start out. Holmes thought about the 3. Kicks it back to Solberger. Now over to Rimmel. Dunlap lost their last game against a very good Canton team. Here's Holmes to the corner. Hits the three-pointer. 3-2.
Got a fast-paced game early on, a lot of aggression.
Not even a minute and a half in, both teams with an early bucket. Isabella Hutchison, the junior. Inside, little fake hesitation is good by Ellie Van Meen, and a sophomore. And the impressive thing, as we kind of mentioned in the outset, if you could even hear us over the pep band, it's done a fantastic job, by the way, but a lot of young players on this team.
On both teams, Gavin.
Both teams. Dunlap starts 2 seniors. Morton starts 1. So a lot of juniors, a lot of sophomores, just kind of continue the dynasty these programs have had. Up, blocked away right there. And coming out with it, it's Gracie Junis. Now over to Isabella Hutchison. Lamprecht. 4-year starter in the Middle Illini, 2 with East Peoria. Last 2 with Morton. She'll shoot a 3 right there from the wing. Hits it. Couple of threes, 1 for each side. 7-3 early score.
Gavin, we mentioned the young roster with Washington almost running away with the Middle Illini this year. Both these 2 teams have something to build on for next year, ranking 2nd and 3rd, respectively.
A lot of future going forward, and again, Washington's going to continue to be an excellent program, but you lose 5 seniors, obviously it can be a little more up for grabs. And it's been so competitive. We'll continue to talk about the subsectional and the regional pairings that just came out a couple days ago. Absolutely stacked regional, 9 teams, mostly from the Middle Illini, a couple of Big 12 teams as Morton turns it over. How about we talk about those, Teddy? The 9 teams, here are the top 7. Peoria High, Washington, Peoria Notre Dame, Dunlap, Morton, Richwoods, and Metamora. The top 7 of those 9. That is an impressive list of teams.
We've gotten to see a lot of good basketball this season, especially from those 2 conferences. Really ran the show here for Clutch Sports Media and all of Central Illinois basketball.
It has, and run the show for Dunlap. Sophia Rimmel hits the 3-pointer. That's such a shame, though. Stack all those really good teams in one regional. Somebody's got to go home, Teddy. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be the high-talented Lions? Morton making their case. They had another bucket right there. Dunlap has been very good this season. Dunlap, the 4 seed in the subsectional. Morton, the 5. So these teams just about as even as it gets. Morton looking to put a stamp on their season, again, season winding down. So any momentum you can take into the playoffs is a good thing.
Yeah, Gavin, you mentioned regional titles. Bob Becker, he's been one to win quite a few of those, 15 of them in his career. So Morton definitely has some playoff experience.
Three-pointer on the way, no good. Bounced up. Hutchison comes down with it, spins around, throws up a wild shot. Rebound again, a lot of offensive rebounds, poked away, and it's going to go to Dunlap. Addie Engel and Isabella Hutchison really getting active on the offensive boards.
Yeah, Morton's really putting the aggression down in the paint, and that's something, although it's a close game now, Dunlap might want to act fast on that so they don't continue doing that throughout the game.
Pretty guard heavy for both teams, like to play a lot around the perimeter, but Morton obviously trying to employ another facet of the game. Here, both teams had some success early on from beyond the arc, three-point land. Travel right there. We talk about Bob Becker, 15 regional titles, 8 appearances at the state level, multiple state titles, runner-ups, even the top 4 finishes. That's something to be proud of. Dunlap led by Heather Cassidy. Has done a fantastic job with this Dunlap team. Solberger again for 3, no good, didn't hit anything. Hutchison comes down with it. Three on the way. Junitz hits it. Might be a three-point shootout tonight, Teddy.
It's looking like it so far.
What do you do as a defense? I mean, you want to protect the perimeter, but you can't allow easy buckets on the inside.
Well, at least for Morton so far, they get a steal there, but at least for Morton, perimeter base has been a lot of Dunlap's game plan. Morton has been a lot of interior, so you'll see how they alternate, but both teams have been able to do both so far.
Substitution here. Lamprecht comes out for Kerrigan Vandal, sophomore.
Still early in the game, Gavin, but Dunlap has a 7-0. They're 7-0 this year at home, despite trailing by 3. It's still early in the game. How does home court advantage help you out in games like this, Gavin?
Well, it's got to be big. Senior night, definitely a big crowd on hand. Hutchison traveled right there. Morton bench and fans wanted a foul. Say she traveled first. But definitely a great atmosphere here north of Peoria tonight. Morton likes to play in big environments, though. We saw them at the State Farm Holiday Classic. Great tournament down there. Three on the way from Morris. Can't get it to go. Offensive board up and in. Peyton Haley cleaning up the glass right there. 12-11, and it's going to be close, Teddy.
It's going to be a shootout all game long.
Thought about a 3, driving inside, up and in. Touched every part of the rim. Ellie Van Meenen, her 3rd bucket of the night. Leads all scorers with 6. Solberger lost it off her knee, and she turns it over. A few turnovers both ways. Pretty clean overall. Lamprecht comes back in for Gracie Junis. What do you do, Teddy? Under 40 seconds, hold for the last shot, or just kind of play your offense?
I say you got the lead going into the second quarter. You can hold, you can go for another bucket, but both teams are able to show that they can score at will to this point, so I say you hold on to it.
We'll see what they do. Trapped in the corner, stolen away by Dunlap. Now they'll have a decision to make here. They're going quick. Rimmel gets open for 3, no good. And out of bounds it goes, back to Morton, so 7.7, they'll be shooting for the last shot, presumably. Although things can change quick, Teddy.
We talk about the physical defense so far, but no fouls in the game.
Yeah, shocking. No fouls in the first quarter. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, driving in, up and 1. 0.3 on the clock, and gets a chance at a 3-point play. Addie Engel having herself a first quarter.
He has 4 already in the first with a chance to make it 5 on the end 1.
Van Meenen with 6. 4 so far for Engel. Old-fashioned 3 is good. And that's what will end the first quarter. 17-11. Morton leading. Some quick thoughts there from the first quarter, Teddy.
I think if you're Dunlap, obviously you're having an okay first quarter, like they scored quite a bit, but for Morton, they came in full-fledged and they have not slowed down, so you got to find a way to stop that. And as for Morton, you just got to keep doing what you're doing. You're playing great basketball. Dunlap's still scoring on you, but when you're able to outscore them by that much, defense isn't that much of a problem for them.
Exactly. Both teams have some things to work on, some things to clean up, but a really good first quarter of basketball here in Dunlap. Morton and Dunlap girls on ClutchSportsTown.com. We'll take a brief break and be back in about 30 seconds for second quarter action. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Dunlap. Morton and Dunlap girls basketball on ClutchSportsTown.com. 17-11. A lot of action in the first quarter. Teddy Ball and Gavin Russell on the call with you. Stolen away in the early stages here by Khalees Morris. Morris up, fouled. She'll go to line to shoot two, and the foul right there as we kind of jump back into things, Teddy, with just 7 seconds on the clock, you make the point. No fouls in the first quarter. With .3 on the clock, we get an and 1. And now, early stages, 15 seconds into the second quarter, another foul. So physicality picking up.
Yeah, it is. We talked about it, like how it was a physical game, just no fouls. And it looks like it's starting to catch up to them a little bit now for both squads.
Nobody's in foul trouble, just one apiece. A little odd to see. Over 8 minutes played and just 2 fouls combined. Morris can't hit either from the line. Morton catches a break. Here's Engel. She's had a good first quarter, 5 points. Van Meenen had 6. They'll play a little 2-man game. 3-pointer from Vandal, no good. Rebounded by Cruz. And out to Peyton Haley. Morris has it. She'll drive with the right over to Haley. Jumper from the wing, off. Rebounded by the Potters. And Engel comes out with it. Vandal has it, drives in with the left, up and no good. Morris takes it the other way. Khalees Morris played a lot her freshman year. She's just a sophomore right now. Rimmel down the lane gets the first bucket of the second quarter to go. Rimmel, an explosive player, Teddy. She's headed to Morton College, a very, very highly ranked junior college, and definitely probably has 4 years of basketball further on her mind.
Yeah, it's got to be exciting for her. You know, you got one more game against your rival Morton just to go play for Morton. Imagine going to college to play for Morton just to say you beat Morton in your senior year.
Different Morton. Still applies, though. She'll be heading to the next level, though, as will Tatum Lamprecht on the other side of things for the Potters. Headed to ICC, another very highly ranked junior college for women's basketball. Staying local. Moving it around. Here's Engel again with it. Leaves it off to Lamprecht for 3. Hits it. Cougars at ICC are going to like seeing some threes from Tatum Lamprecht, but Bob Becker likes it a little more right now. And stolen away by the Potters. Lamprecht comes out with it. Fights it away. Potters have numbers. Then it's ripped away by Rimmel. Back and forth we go. Off to the far side. Nowhere to go. Back to Cruz. Rimmel wide open, top of the key, short off the iron.
I was about to say that might be the longest we've went without a shot attempt, but right after I was thinking about it, they shot it.
And you talk about that, we've brought up so much the future of the shot clock and the IHSA. Foul right there. Gonna go on Khalees Morris, but shot clock is coming in the IHSA, Teddy. We've seen it at some of the holiday tournaments and things that's allowed to be used right now. But in the future, it's gonna be for all games. But I don't think either of these teams have a problem with that tonight.
Yeah, they're shooting so fast. Even if there was a shot clock, it wouldn't seem to bother them. But one thing we have noticed when we see those tournaments that when teams do play with the shot clock, a lot of teams very well able to adapt to it, but other teams it's a little bit more of a struggle. You got to get used to it. So interesting to see how that will affect all levels of high school basketball.
Yeah, it's big change coming, and teams are obviously trying to start right now to adapt, kind of change the game plan and slowly but surely get used to it. But it is a big part of high school hoops and really is probably eventually going to be something nationwide. Here's Lamprecht on the backdoor cut. Wanted a foul, nothing called. Bob Becker throws his hands up. Other way we go. Tipped away, another steal by Morton.
Back and forth still.
Both teams bargaining for a few fouls, but really 3 called combined in this game. Almost a quarter and a half in. A little unusual. They're letting them play. And there's a foul. Morris will pick up her second, so the only player in foul trouble. A few substitutions here. Sutton Sintoni making her first appearance in this game for Dunlap, and Sophia Rimmel back in. Lamprecht wide open again for 3. Hits it again. Tatum Lamprecht on fire from downtown. Stolen away. Hutchison all alone, going the other way. Up, oh, can't get the layup to go. Rimmel goes with it. Coast to coast, drops it off. Solberger, hook shot. Couldn't get it to go. But again, just run and gun, Teddy. I mean, it is just, you're not waiting more than 10 or 15 seconds to throw a shot up.
Yeah, despite the missed last possession, Morton really keeping the pace high. Dunlap trying to keep up. It's still a relatively close game. Anything can happen, but Morton's playing very well here in the second quarter as another one falls there.
Addie Engel gets another bucket to go. She's got 7 points. They lead by 12. 3:20 to go here in the second quarter. Heather Cassidy took a timeout. We'll draw some things up for Dunlap. Eddie in this timeout. It was a good first quarter for Dunlap, but they've only managed 1 field goal in over 4 minutes here in the second quarter. I mean, what do you do to change things around?
I think you got to try to find a way to slow down Morton. They're doing a lot of stuff from the arc. They're able to score all around, and they're keeping the pace high. So you got to go back to what you were doing in the first. They were able to control the paint a little bit. They were able to shoot around the arc. You got to spread stuff out and not force shots.
Heather Cassidy was fired up in the huddle. There's Bob Becker, keeping his team fired up. So Dunlap will inbound it, trying to reverse the tide. It's been a big run for the Potters, outscoring Dunlap 8-2 here in the second quarter. And another turnover. That's been Dunlap's bread and butter tonight, forcing turnovers, or rather Morton. Getting my teams mixed up here. But really something that's hurt Dunlap very much tonight, Teddy. They're turning the ball over a lot.
Yeah, like we mentioned before, it looks like they're trying to force a lot of shots, trying to get the ball to the corner. On top, it just, you got to make sure you get the ball to where it needs to be, not where you want it to be.
Very good point. Looks like Potter's had a play ran out. Didn't quite go the way they wanted. Lamprecht fires up a three, and again, what a shot there from the senior. She's in double figures with 11. Rimmel the other way, no good. Solberger gets the offensive board. Wide open, Sintoni gets it to go. They get a response bucket, but how about Tatum Lamprecht here in the first half? 11 of Morton's 28.
She's just been raining threes beyond the arc tonight so far. It's been entertaining to watch, to say the least.
For Dunlap, got to get some stops. Lost it. Lamprecht couldn't hold on to it on the back cut. So Dunlap comes the other way. Here's Solberger. And she's bumped right there. Gracie Junis picks up the foul. Teddy, you're, of course, a basketball fan. You're an analyst here. Clutch Sports Media in all levels of basketball, guys or girls. You see a really good zone defense. I mean, how big of an effect can that have if you effectively run a zone defense?
It can be really effective. I mean, just a few weeks ago, Richwood's Pekin got on a little run when Richwood stopped playing it, and then as soon as Richwood's put it back on, they were able to almost shut Pekin out. So yeah, that's just one game to mention, but overall, it can play an impact on any team, especially a really hot team like Dunlap. You know, they come in with a high-powered offense, scoring almost 1,500 points so far this season, and so far, Morton has shut them down in that regard.
Certainly have. Zone defense working to perfection. Dunlap playing the man-to-man defense, a little more traditional. Vandal drives up and in, no good. Rimmel thought about a three. She'll leave it off there for Holmes. Holmes hits a three, now it's a 10-point game. 1 minute to go here in the second quarter.
That's the type of shot you need, the shot that can gain momentum. They really feel like they need to force threes. Once you hit that first one, some of the rest of them can start landing for you.
And there's a turnover. Dunlap forces it. They come the other way. Over to Holmes, again for three. No good. That's the right look, though. Force a turnover. Get down the court fast. Get an open look. Just couldn't bury it. Now looks like Morton will be content for the final shot, but Dunlap pressing. Hutchinson drives in. Nothing in front of her. Wide open lane, and she gets in for two. 30-18. Dunlap can have the last shot if they want it. Rimmel will throw a three up, though. Can't get it to go. And bounced off of Potter, so it'll stick with Dunlap. And I got to think here, Teddy, of course you want an open shot, but I wouldn't want to give any more time to Morton to allow them to try to put any more points up. You got to take the last shot with 11 seconds.
Yeah, they got the ball back, thankfully, but for them, I would have held on to that, try to limit Morton's high-paced offense. Seems like they're still trying to put it up, and they get the foul.
Works out for him in the long run. Morris couldn't hit the floater. Peyton Haley grabs the board and will shoot two. Got to keep this in a 10-point game. Basketball, very much a game of runs. Haley's first off the mark. Struggles from the line tonight. 0 for 3. Dunlap free throws. Second at the line for Peyton Haley. Can't get that to go either. Cruz gets the board. Three-pointer, deep one. Can't get it to go. Rimmel, but it was at the buzzer. Would not have counted anyway. Teddy, 30-18. A lot of scoring in the early going. Tatum Lamprecht of Morton leads with 11 points.
Yeah, she's been really, really impressive so far in the first and second quarter, especially the second. She hit 2 threes from what I remember. I could be wrong on that, but she has been the key factor for Morton so far this game.
Certainly has. A lot of great basketball left to come. We'll come back a couple minutes before second half gets underway and break it down for you. But for now, we're going to step aside for a brief break. Teddy Ball, Gavin Russell, the rest of our Clutch Sports Media staff, Patrick Huber, Rodrigo Perez on camera, Paco Alonso on social media, and Josh Messenger on the controls. Happy you've joined us this evening for Morton and Dunlap Mid-Illini Conference girls basketball. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back here for more Mid-Illini Conference girls basketball on ClutchSportsIL.com. Welcome back to Dunlap. Second half of Mid-Atlantic Conference girls basketball. Dunlap starts out with it. Glad you've joined us here on ClutchSportsNow.com. Teddy Ball and Gavin Russell here with you tonight. 30-18 lead is our score. And an early stop here for the Potters. But Teddy, how about in the way of a bit of a first half recap? It's pretty even early on. 17-11 was the score after one quarter, and then Morton got off to a fast second quarter start, hitting a lot from downtown.
Yeah, it was really, really impressive to see. Tatum Lamprett was really the key factor for Morton in that, having 11 points in the first half. A lot of threes raining down for Morton, but later on in the second quarter, Dunlap got in a little bit of a motion, going from 13 to 18, finding their rhythm, not forcing as many shots. That's something I was talking about to you during halftime, was not forcing so many shots for Dunlap, and it looks like it's pretty successful for him later on in the second.
For sure. Timeout Bob Becker. Team didn't really have much going on there, so he took a quick 30-second timeout. Gives a little chance to recap things here. Dunlap Pet Band was literally just feet behind us, doing a great job bumping up the atmosphere tonight. They exit now, so hopefully it's not too bad on your speakers. Didn't want to blast them out too bad.
With great music, of course.
Great music. Just really loud, very loud. Morton off the timeout. Try to draw something up here. Looking for Lamprecht. Getting 11 points in the first half. 3 3-pointers. She drives inside. Tough take. 13 in the game for the senior. Rimmel over to Cruz. Cruz up and fouled. She'll shoot 2 shots. Justice Cruz played a lot as a sophomore, now a junior. Kind of a reoccurring theme with Dunlap. A lot of players that came back from last year. They had a senior class of maybe 2 or 3 last season. Very similar narrative this year. Cruz hits the first foul shot.
I think this is ideal for Dunlap. Get back, getting high percentage shots early on to try to bring her confidence back up after a lackluster second quarter. Trying to match up to that Morton momentum.
It looks like they'll match up with a zone here. Lamprecht tried to break it with a 3. Here's Solberger. Cherry picking the other way. Got it to go for 2. It was a quick shot. Lamprecht was open in the corner, but it looks like the Eagles will play a zone, matching what Morton did in the first half. Wide open, off the foot there, and a turnover. Van Meenen couldn't haul it in, so 2 possessions in, this zone's working for Dunlap.
Yeah, they're starting to creep back up on them. You can never count a team like Dunlap out. There's a reason why they're second ranked in the Mid-Illini with 20 wins.
20 wins, that's an impressive season. Holmes, 3-pointer, short. Hutchison hauls it in.
One of the things I was going to mention, at least I was talking about pregame, what was going to be more of a factor for your team, winning 7 straight or having 7-0 in home games. And so far we found the answer for that, as it just keeps pouring for Morton.
That momentum is contagious from one game to the next. 3-pointer right there. Good from Gracie Junis. Rimmel tries to match it. Can't get it to go. 14-point lead. Potters have it again.
It's a high arcing 3 there.
She's taking some deep threes. Sophia Rimmel can hit from just about anywhere on the floor. Looks like they'll go back to a man-to-man. Up and in, Addie Engel. Largest lead of the night now. 16 points for Morton.
That was just great vision there for Engel. Way to find a man down low. Dunlap was not prepared for that.
Dunlap trying to figure out what's going to work defensively. Not much is going. Rimmel tried to go up and under. Looked good. Can't get to go. Gets her own rebound. Hard off the glass. Gets it a 3rd time. Throws it up. Short. Cruz trying to save it. And I guess the takeaway there, no bucket, but you got 3 chances at it. I mean, continue to create offensive rebounds, second chances. You're going to score more often than not.
Both teams been able to rebound really well in this game. It's just capitalizing off it that Morton's done a better job at. I think once Dunlap figures that out a little bit more, getting ready and getting settled into this second half, we could see a way different ball game.
Gotta find some momentum if you're Dunlap. Tipped away right there. Drives inside, wide open. Ellie Van Meenen gets back on the board. She had 6 in the first quarter. Her first bucket since then. Holmes fires a 3, can't get it to go. Other way comes Morton. Vandal, wide open, up, can't get the layup to go. Lamprecht cleans it up. Resets. Rothenberg had it. And timeout Bob Becker, another one. Wants to keep his foot on the gas pedal. Up 18 points, Teddy. What a burst at a halftime. We've talked a lot about what Morton's doing right. What's Dunlap got to do to change the tide?
Like I mentioned before, it's a lot of the same in the first half. You got to put someone in front of them. You got to put someone in front of them. You got to be able to get in front of them for shots because Morton is just feeding from the perimeter so far. And I think you got to stay with him on fast breaks because Morton's been able to really control those, and that's where a lot of their buckets are coming from.
Indeed, it has. But Bob Becker wants his team to keep their foot on the gas pedal because a few buckets go Dunlap's way. We've got a ball game. Don't want to leave anything to chance as they look for their 8th straight victory. Rothenberg has it. Dunlap goes back to the zone. Rim will try to tip it away. Wide open. Tatum Lamprecht on fire.
Cannot leave her open, especially for what she's done so far this game. That was a good 6-7 feet sagging off on defense.
Holmes trying to respond, no good. Vandal comes out with it. Little out of control and stolen away. Here comes Holmes. Freshman for the Eagles. Solberger drives up and under and fouled. But a 21-point lead. Shocking fashion for Morton.
Able to bring it back within 20 with these free throws. But one thing Dunlap has to do, we've talked about putting more bodies on defense, but you got to limit those second chance opportunities. Morton has not just been primarily driving and scoring every time. They're able to get those offensive rebounds and get a second chance, even third chance on different occasions. So I think that's ideal for Dunlap going forward.
It's all about the details, Teddy. The rebounds, the matchups on defense, all of it matters. Both free throws good from Solberger. Dunlap still trying to go with the zone. Wide open shot right there, short. Hutchison goes up, makes it, and you talked about right there. Can't let him have those offensive boards, just capitalizing again.
Surprised we haven't seen a timeout yet from Dunlap. And
Really?
Heather Cassidy.
Haven't taken any yet. Has some faith in her team to just work out the issues on their own. Inside out. Stolen away there, Engel. Over to Hutchison, drives inside, stops. Three-pointer on the way, short. Didn't hit anything. Down the court, 2-on-1. Holmes steps back with it. Solberger over to Morris. She couldn't haul it in, gets it back. Teddy, to me, it looks like Dunlap's just a little unsure with their passing. So we get a stoppage.
Yeah, it looked like Isabella Hutchinson on that last possession might have got hit in the face. I wasn't sure if it was serious or not, didn't mention it, but that's why they're stopping it.
Just making sure there's no blood. We resume play, but stolen away by Hutchison. Up and one for Isabella Hutchison.
Doesn't seem to slow her down. She's able to get there and finish at the rim.
Nosebleed won't stop her. You'll get a chance for a three-point play, and they are just, everything's going right for the Potters.
Up by 23 now. They've doubled Dunlap late in the third, I guess, not early. Early in the second half.
Hutchison completes it. Largest lead of the night grows to 24. Rimmel drives in, up and under, can't get it to go, gets her own board. Foul and one for Rimmel.
Way to answer back for Rimmel. Gavin, Dunlap, their last game, lost against Canton. If you got the rest of this game to go, the whole fourth quarter, of course. But if it doesn't pan out, what do you do the rest of the game to try to, get ready for the playoffs, get your mentality back up after 2 tough losses?
It's one of those things, Teddy, that I would probably. You absolutely have to recognize where you failed at. Of course, some things you'd like to clean up in practice in the next week or so. But at the same time, it's all about just kind of erasing it and remembering, hey, we're a 20-win team. They've got a couple games left. We'll look at the upcoming schedules in a little while. Between quarters, we'll show you the upcoming schedules for both teams. Some big ones left to go before the playoffs start. All the momentum you can get, though, is a good thing. Lamprecht drives in. Van Meenen up and in with the left.
Fakes the pass to the outside, able to have no defender guarding her after that. Wide open layup. Now 49-26.
Rimmel stripped away. Tried to go up and under. Off the bottom of the iron. Over and back is the call. Bob Becker wanted a foul call, a reach in.
That was a tough one to call. Looked a little bit like a reach in, but I'm not a certified ref.
We don't have the authority to make the decisions from the broadcaster's booth, Teddy. So we'll just take what the guys in the stripes say. Feeds it down low. Rimmel. Pass over to Morris. Morris for three. Didn't hit anything.
Started off really hot from the arc early on in the game. Since then, have slowed down. It's been all Morton from beyond.
They like shooting in this gym, evidently. Haven't missed many tonight. Over to Vandal. 8 seconds, now 7. Tipped away out of bounds, and 4 seconds on the clock. Dunlap will have a chance at the last shot. Solberger, 3 seconds. He from the half-court line off the front iron. No good, 49-26. Huge burst for the Potters. What a third quarter from Morton. How about a look, though, at the upcoming schedules, Teddy? We'll start first with Morton. And you get a look at the Potters bench right there. They just have one game left to go, Teddy. That's against Washington. And Washington, the leader of the Mid-Illini Conference. They're playing Canton tonight. Canton's been very good this season as well. But they'll take on Washington February 7th at 7 o'clock. And then for Dunlap, they've got Washington as well on their schedule, February 4th. And then they finish up at Metamora February 7th. So some tough games right there. Both teams facing off against Washington. Then Metamora, Dunlap has their last game. I mean, what do you do? It's nearly impossible, but I mean, chance for some big momentum heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, you have a tough little stretch here. These Morton Potters and Canton Little Giants, and you move on to the Panthers and Claire McDougal. So definitely a tough game ahead, but both teams
we did
able to get a lot of wins.
Yeah, we did see earlier this week, though, Panthers not unbeatable as the Richwoods Knights took them down. Solberger with the steal. Up, fouled, and nearly got the and one to go. Washington very good, but they can be taken down on the right night, and there's Again, plenty of great teams in their respective subsectional. Peoria High Lions have been tremendous this season. First foul shot no good from Solberger. They're the 1 seed, Washington number 2. Maya Wardle, and then Peoria Notre Dame Irish, 3rd seed. Dunlap and Morton. Richwoods has been sneaky good. Maybe not sneaky anymore. They're posting some big wins, in Metamora 7th in that subsectional, as we mentioned, Limestone and East Peoria 8 and 9.
Richwoods has not been a team to sleep on ever since they almost upset the number 1 team in the State Farm Holiday Classic out in Bloomington. They almost did it. They were down by 1. I think they lost by 1, but still.
Yes, I was on camera for that game, Teddy, as they took on Carmel out of Indiana. They've got Jordan Wood, the Michigan State recruit, on that team, and Richwoods nearly had him. Just came down to the late stages, couldn't get it done.
That was a fun game to watch.
Very fun. It was a late night game too, but had everybody from Central Illinois tuning in. Richwoods really solidifying themselves, but 6th in a very, very competitive regional. Somebody will advance, somebody will go home. Unfortunately, wish all those teams could make their own deep runs, but we'll see who can clutch up in the playoffs.
Nice plug there, Gavin.
We love clutch plays, clutch moments. That's what we're all about. Morris drives in.
One good thing you can say about Dunlap for sure, they played a very clean game all around. 1 foul in this half so far, and I believe only 2, maybe even 1 in the first as well. So they played very clean basketball while also being able to stay physical.
Really not a lot of fouls in this game. Get one right there. At just 6 combined here in the second half. There was 5 combined in the first half. Creates a great flow to the game, Teddy. This game got started late, and the game's been going for about an hour, and we're already into the 4th quarter. So pace of play has been great. Caroline Holmes drains a 3.
Been a very fast-paced game all throughout. Fun to watch.
Love entertaining basketball. Not saying there's anything wrong with slow, methodical basketball, but there you go. Body's hitting the deck. You don't even know where the ball's getting up. Addie Engel comes out with it. No foul. Lamprick throws it up. Gets another bucket to go. Tatum Lamprick, 18 in the game.
She has been a cheat code so far for Morton tonight. 18 points early on, midway through the 4th. Easily could crack 20, but I'm sure she'd be more happy with a win.
They're heading in that direction. Still a big lead, 21 points. It would take a furious comeback from the Eagles to do so. Morris trying to jump start it. Up, can't get the runner to go. Lamprick comes down with the board, and she's fouled there by Solberger. And you kind of posed the question a few minutes ago, Teddy, about what do you do at a game like this? You know, sometimes we'll talk about just win the quarter. What do you think about if you win the quarter, Teddy, just how big of an effect that can have going into your next game?
It can be huge, and I think one thing I've slowly noticed throughout this game, Dunlap has not called that many timeouts. And what I think maybe it is like trying to get them to learn themselves a little bit, and then you go into practice and you see and review and what you have to do. So Dunlap kind of just playing off of very quick time events. I mean, they're just
letting it play out.
Letting it play out and worrying about thinking about it later. When you're guaranteed a spot in regionals, having good coaching throughout the week after a loss can definitely help you.
Yeah, they've got a couple games coming up. They don't play again till Tuesday. Lothenburg will shoot 2 after the foul on Morris. Morton, on the other hand, will have a week to prepare for their next one to host Washington at the Potter Dome. We were on location for their first matchup in Washington. Did just about everything right, kind of the opposite what we're seeing Morton tonight. Tough game for the Potters back when they matched up in, boy, that had to have been December or early January. It all kind of meshes together, Teddy. Potters heating up at the right time, heading for 8 straight wins, barring a big comeback from the Eagles. 3 on the way. Tried to take a second bounce in, no good.
You know, Gavin, when we mentioned the fouls a few minutes ago, it was 5 total fouls. Since then, there have been 5 fouls. Starting to speed up. It seems every time we mention it, we almost jinx it, and then fouls start to come in.
You know, Teddy, I just realized we took a look at our schedule graphics. I mentioned how many days they'd have to prepare for their next game. Me not realizing that February 4th is tomorrow and not a week from now. Still thinking it's January. Got to catch up with the program.
I'm still stuck in 2020, to be honest, or 2022. I feel like this month has flown by already in February.
We're not exactly sure what year it is, folks.
Not 2020. That would have been a while ago.
So correcting myself, quick turnaround as Dunlap will play tomorrow here. We'll talk a little more about that one in a second. And Morton will have a few days, February 7th on Tuesday, to play their next game. A couple days to prepare. Boy, just realized that, though. Complete mental lapse. We're falling apart here. Who's not falling apart are the Morton Potters. 54 points. Everything going right. Here's Lamprecht again. Couldn't get it to go. She's got 18 right now. Trying to get to 20. She's a 1,000-point scorer for the Potters. Briefly played with East Peoria Raiders, all contributing to that 1,000-point mark. Hands it off to Hutchinson. Low post. Hutchinson thought about a 3. They're going to slow it down a little bit more, though. No urgency, a little step through. Really nice look right there from Ellie Van Meenen.
It's a nice switch up compared to what we've been seeing for Morton. We've seen a lot of shots fall. That one was slow, methodical, able to think about what they were going to do. Executed well.
They can do just about anything offensively, and turned over. Obviously, frustrations mounting. And we're going to get a whole line change here. Potter starters come out to a big hand from the traveling crowd. Lamprecht presumably is going to finish this game with 18 points. Could have been more, but impressive nonetheless. Lots of new faces here for Morton. Anna Ruxlow. Annalise Hepp. 3 on the way right there. Hits it. Fired up is the Morton crowd as Gabby here, the senior, hits it. Gotta feel good. Coming in here, little cherry on top from the senior here, hitting the 3.
Yeah, when your bench is able to put up good production against the Dunlap starters. I believe the Dunlap starters. Yeah, Dunlap starters. So when you're able to get good production from your bench, your starters played good all game. Going into the playoffs, you got to feel good.
Complete effort, Teddy. Team effort. Everybody's doing their part. Morris tried to throw it up, no good. Rebounded by Hepp. Ruxlow has it. Tries to make a move. Low post, up. Couldn't get it to go. It was Lopko. Rimmel tries to drive inside, throws it up and 1. So she'll add to her stat sheet a little bit more. She's got 10 in the game. Chance to go to 11. And probably one of the biggest takeaways, of course, talked about just a complete game from Morton. But definitely can talk about, Teddy, Morton shut down the stars of Dunlap. Solberger and Rimmel comparably having much quieter nights.
Yeah, for sure. We talked a lot about Morton's offense tonight, but you got to credit their defense as well, holding Dunlap to 35, at one point doubling their score when they were up 46 to 23. Backcourt violation there.
Khalees Morris earning some late brownie points with Heather Cassidy, making some defensive plays right there. Rimmel slows it down. Morris will shoot a three off the mark. Taken down by here. Lobs it across the timeline. Ruxlow tried to drive in back to here. Stops, turns. Ruxlow stripped away by Morris again. Up to Rimmel. Nobody in front of her. Can take her time. Up and in for two. And under a minute now. Really going to be all she wrote, Teddy. Might get another shot here. 59-37. Dominant statement win for Morton.
I think for Dunlap, it's good to play through. Get a little bit more confident as the game went on. Lower that deficit just by a little.
Rimmel
Ready to go into the next game.
trying to create some late momentum here, win the quarter, as we may have mentioned earlier. 20 seconds to go. We'll see if Dunlap elects to put up another shot. Rimmel thought about a three. She will shoot it. Hits it. So she'll pad the stats a little bit. 16 in the game. But that's going to be all she wrote from Dunlap. Morton, big winners tonight, 59-40. Potters will travel back home with a 19-point victory. Off the top, Teddy, some initial thoughts.
Yeah, it's a big win for Morton, beating a team in your conference, getting ready, getting prepared for the playoffs. And as for Dunlap, you know, like we said before, the loss to Canton, but now they go to 0-2 in the last two, so there's definitely some things to work on. But overall, a very impressive season, and they have what it takes to go far in the playoffs. Don't hang your head too much on these two losses. As you see a hug there, sign of respect for these two teams.
And I guess we should have made mention earlier, as we kind of came out of in a fury out of halftime. Both these teams supporting Team Tessa, student here at Dunlap. Has been diagnosed with cancer for a couple of years now. I believe she's a soccer player. Both teams supporting her tonight. They did a paper airplane shootout. Somebody went home with a little prize package, but lots of money going to donate to Dunlap's own Tessa. Trying to support her. I heard they've raised over $20,000, so a great cause for a great person. And again, if whatever you can do to support Team Tessa, Dunlap, and their family and the community would certainly appreciate very much. Morton, nice gesture before the game, offered some flowers out there.
It's great to see that the whole community, both of these teams are able to come together and realize that it's bigger than basketball on certain days, especially this one.
Love when the communities can get together and do something for a good cause. We see that all the time, but certainly means a little bit more when it affects your school specifically. But on the court tonight, big winners are the Morton Potters, 59-40, and I guess we should hand out a player of the game. I think I know who I would go with, but Teddy, who do you got for player of the game?
Tatum Lamprecht was on fire all game long. She was able to have 18 points in the game. A lot of them came in that second quarter where she had, I believe, 2 to 3 threes, if my mind serves me right. But impressive outing for her, impressive outing for the entire Morton squad. And as for Dunlap, Sophia Rimmel, she had a great game, able to finish strong there in the fourth, get a little bit of momentum back that you might have lost throughout the game, but great showing for Morton.
Morton had a great showing indeed. Reminder, we'll be back tomorrow here on ClutchSportsOwl.com, back in Dunlap for a boys and girls doubleheader as the Dunlap Eagles boys and girls teams take on Washington Panthers boys and girls teams. And Had to get my dates right, but February 4th is tomorrow, folks. So we'll be back as Dunlap tries to rebound and gain a big victory over state-ranked Washington. Dunlap boys will try to take down the Washington Panthers boys team. So come back tomorrow. 1 p.m. tip is the first game. 3 p.m. tip, the second game of the day. But that's going to do it here tonight in Dunlap for our entire great crew. Patrick Huber and Rodrigo Perez on camera. Paco Alonso roaming the sidelines in social media. Josh Messenger not only doing producing but also directing, so doing just about everything tonight. Thanks to all of them and my broadcast partner, Teddy Ball. This is Gavin Russell signing off from Dunlap. Morton, big winners, 59-50, rather 59-40. We'll be back for more basketball action tomorrow on ClutchSportsOwl.com. Have a good night, everybody.